AJ, the Stallions come in 12-2, and hey, the Mohawks are 12-2 as well. Should be a great night here at Cantine Field.
A game that the winner will take first place in the East Division. One team will be 13-2, the next team 12-3.
Why don't we take a look back at last night's nail-biter of a game, a 6-5 win for the Stallions out in Oneonta, and one player stood out from the rest. That was Tyler Bach.
Tyler Bach coming into the game with no hits. Now, 3 for 4 yesterday, no RBIs, but got himself on base and stole bases, making an impact for the offense immensely.
So, AJ, we talk about a 6-5 win for the Stallions. The Mohawks did the exact same thing. They won 6-5 against Watertown yesterday, and they were actually trailing in that game before eventually taking the lead and winning on a walk-off walk.
Would have been a huge win for the Stallions, but Amsterdam came up on top, bases loaded, and got a walk to win the game against Watertown.
Yeah, that was a great one. And the Stallions also, with some clutch hitting down the stretch, took a 6-2 lead against Oneonta, but their pitching able to get out of those jams. But we have to talk about the Amsterdam pitching. Two guys have dominated the Stallions, the main guy being the lefty, Drew Nelson, not starting tonight for Amsterdam. But, man, this guy's been effective against Saugerties. 9 innings pitched and no runs.
9 innings against Saugerties, but in general, 12 innings pitched, putting up a 0.00 ERA, 14 strikeouts, 4 hits, 7 walks, and 3 games played.
Both these staffs are really, really good at this point in the season. The Stallions are leading in ERA. Amsterdam sitting at third. Going to be a great game here from Cantine Field here tonight. We're glad to bring it to you. When we come back, we'll go through lineups and first pitch. Stay right with us. Dan Shalom with you alongside AJ DiBenedetto here in the Pack Hub broadcast booth, getting ready for what we know is going to be an instant classic. It's Mohawks versus Stallions for the third time this season here at Cantine Field. AJ, this is going to be a good one.
Third matchup of the season between these two great teams. Last time, a mishap by the Stallions. 12 walks in that game at Cantine, lost 10-0. The game before that, though, entertainment at its finest. 5-4, bottom of the ninth, walk-off RBI single by Ryan Resio.
So why don't we run through the lineups here? We'll look at first the visiting batting lineup for Amsterdam. AJ, this lineup is scary from the top down. Their first 6 batters in the lineup all batting 300 plus. It's going to be Javar Williams, the future teammate of Ethan Conrad, leading things off. Michael O'Brien out in center. He's batting 333. Jackson Natilli, the extra hitter tonight. Then it's Cade Ladahoff, who has 2 home runs on the season, batting 388. Zach Eldred doing the DHing. He also pitches. Then it's the shortstop, Pete Daniel. Rob Rispoli, the second baseman, in just his 5th game of the year. Then it's Liam Wilson, Luke Zesbick, and Evan Hager to round things out for the Mohawks. AJ, who are they going to be going against on the mound?
On the mound today, his second appearance, Sean Dirtinger. Sean originally went to Brockport, now in the National Transfer Portal for Pac Cub. He had a great start in his first start against Oneonta. Went 4 innings pitched, 1 walk, and gave up 1 hit. In his first game pitched, he did win the player of the game as well. Should
be a good one. Stallions defense tonight, it's Manley behind the dish. Hot over at the hot corner, then it's Rodriguez, Genther, and Resio on the infield. Ford, Cuello, and Conrad. AJ, I say Conrad and Hot. Those 2 guys didn't play last night. They're back in the lineup tonight.
It's going to be a big difference at the plate today. We saw different bats last night. Let them get a rest in a 2 important game streak.
A 2 important game stretch, as you mentioned, this being the first game of a home-and-home with Amsterdam starting here at Cantine Field. Stallions will be up at Shuttleworth Park for the first time tomorrow night. They're searching for the first time to beat the Mohawks in the second game out of a 3-game stretch ever. Dirtinger will look to help him get there. Here's his first pitch. We've got baseball from Cantine Field. That one misses off the outside for ball 1.
Dirtinger is going to have to go for that first pitch strike today. If he doesn't and allows runners to get on base, it's going to be a massacre.
Here's the 1-0. That one's in there for a strike. You mentioned the walks, AJ. Last time these 2 teams met, a 10-0 Amsterdam victory, headlined by 12 walks by the staff, 3 of those being RBI walks with the bases loaded. That one misses down low. So if you want to beat Amsterdam, I mean, you can't give up 12 walks. It's quite simple.
It's too well of a positioned lineup where they know they could take advantage when given the opportunity.
Here's the 2-1. That one's popped up on the infield. Hot's going to come in, and he's got it for out number 1.
Good job by Dirtinger seeing the pitcher does not need to make the play there. Hot coming into the ball and called it off right there.
Stallions' ERA is a 2.91. That's best in the entire league. But they're going against a team, AJ, that bats 300 in their first 6 hitters. One of those guys being the center fielder, Michael O'Brien, who's at the dish right now.
O'Brien starting the season with a 333 over 33 at-bats. He's a consistent base runner.
Just grounds that one to the right side. Last night against Watertown, he was the hero, went 3 for 5 RBIs, a home run, a triple, and a single. Just was a double shy of the cycle.
Would have been the first time this year in the PGCBL for a cycle. So close, but so far at the same time.
And Mario Trivella almost had one the other day for the Stallions against Boonville. Was just missing the home run. That one misses outside. It's 1-1. Dirtinger comes set. Here's the pitch. That one misses down low. And AJ, in Dirtinger's first start against Oneonta, extremely efficient, 4 innings pitched, and just a single hit given up.
When we talked to him after the game, he told us it was just confidence at the mound and just confidence in his defense behind him.
That one's hit to the right side. Broken bat. Resio fields it, and there's 2 quick outs here at the top of the first.
Dirtinger making it easy for himself, just keeping it in the infield. And with a well-gelled infield so far, that's what you want to do.
It'll bring Jackson Natilli, the extra hitter, to the dish. We usually see this guy behind the plate But just a DH tonight. He's batting .351 on the season.
351 through that many at-bats is absolutely amazing. He's a guy you put at your 3 spot for a reason.
First pitch from Dirton, the off-speed is in there for strike 1.
Having 5 doubles off of 15 games so far, that's impeccable. Finding the gap and eventually getting to second is even the harder part.
Yeah, he has 8 stolen bases and 9 RBIs. Not a guy you want on the base pass. Manley does a nice job blocking that one. It's 1-1.
Taking a look at the past few games behind the plate, the drop and blocking, keeping the ball in front, minimizing stolen bases, definitely an improvement.
Here's the 1-1. That one's in there for strike 2. We're going to see Dirton use that off speed tonight. It's very effective for him.
He used it in his first start, 4 innings. About 50% off speed we saw, and we asked him, what makes you so comfortable on the mound with the off speed? He said, I just throw it.
It's as simple as that. 2-2, 2 outs here in the top of the first. Jackson Natili, the extra hitter at the plate. Calls time. Here's the 2-2. Strike 3, he got him. Dirton deals a 1-2-3 first. Stallions coming to bat. Stay right with us here on the Saugerties YouTube channel. Dan Shalom with you alongside AJ DiBenedetto here in the Pack Hub broadcast booth. AJ, Sean Dirton dealing a clean 1-2-3 top of the first, and it'll give the Stallions lineup a chance to attack Colin Kidd, the starting pitcher here for the Mohawks.
Taking a look at Colin Kidd, his third appearance, his third game started as well, supporting a 7.87 ERA through 8 innings pitched, 6 strikeouts, 2 walks, and allowing 12 hits. Wouldn't so much call him a contact pitcher, but the Stallions will get some hits off him today.
Yeah, this lineup today that'll look to do just that is Mike Cuello starting off. Then it's Fritz Genther at second base. Ethan Conrad back in the lineup tonight along with Byram Hutt. They were both off last night in Oneonta. Then it's Nate Manley, the catcher. He's batting .471 this season. Matt McIntyre doing the DHing. Then it's Justin Ford, who's batting .353. Ryan Resio in the 8-hole. Then it's Anthony Marcano, the extra hitter, and Rich Rodriguez to end things out for the Stallions. This is the most comprehensive offensive lineup we've seen so far from Coach Colin Martin.
Coach Colin Martin definitely thought this lineup through when he saw he was tied for first place in the East Division with the Amsterdam Mohawks.
So it'll be Cuello digging in. He's 167 this season, but the numbers don't tell the full story. 7 RBIs and 2 doubles. He's a guy that is just trying to get on track here, was waiting for it. Got it on Saturday night against Glens Falls with 2 doubles and 4 RBIs, but just trying to find it again. 2 quick strikes there from Kidd, and it's 0-2.
Cuello found his groove on Saturday against Glen Falls here. Got 4 RBIs, just looking to do the same thing, just put the ball in play.
Here's the 0-2. Gets him swinging. So a 3-pitch strikeout here for Colin Kidd to start the ball game, and it'll bring up Fritz Genther.
Genther in his last game against Oneonta, 2 for 5 with an RBI, a consistent hitter that you can rely getting on base.
Yeah, Genther this season, he's batting a .355. Did play last night against Oneonta, went 2 for 5 with an RBI and came around to score in that one. That one's fouled back. Genther, a guy that's looking to play indie ball next year, is done with college, graduating from UMass Lowell. Spending his summer here with the Stallions before moving on to professional baseball. Here's the 0-1. That one's down low and misses for ball 1.
Dan, we talked to Ben Williams before, talked about the Stallions' approach these past few games on the first pitch. They want to swing at the first pitch. Some are hesitating. If most of them swing at the first pitch is usually a fastball in the PGCBL.
Here's the 1-1. That one misses for ball 2. 2-1 count, 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Stallions against Mohawks, the first game of a 2-game set. That one misses upstairs, and it's 3-1.
Dan, talking about the Amsterdam's hot streak right now, they are on an 8-game win streak. Stallions trying to stop that, crush it, and let them go on a 4-game win streak.
3-1 misses. It's the first base runner of the game here for the Stallions in the bottom of the first with 1 out, and the most dangerous man in the PGCBL coming into the plate. That's Ethan Conrad.
Ethan Conrad coming up to the plate with a guy that steals 7 bases on first this season so far. Anything that Conrad puts in the gap is going to go far.
Conrad, the Wake Forest commit, used the Pac Hub National transfer portal to get there and has been a monster in the PGCBL this season. 3 home runs, 15 RBIs, and 8 stolen bases grounds. That one to the right side for a base hit. Genther is going to go over to third, and it's now first and third with 1 out for the Stallions in the bottom of the first.
Dan, a job Conrad saw there and just completed it. We talked about the first pitch aggression. Conrad must have heard us in the Pac Hub broadcasting booth. He swung first pitch and advanced Genther to third there.
And it'll bring Byram Hott, his former teammate from Marist, to the plate. AJ, this guy is a prolific hitter at the plate.
Prolific hitter. His last name's Hott. He's hot at the bat. So far this season, batting a .271 with 4 doubles, a home run, 11 RBIs, and has plate discipline as well, adding 6 walks to the resume.
Takes that one for ball 1. Just needs to put a ball into the outfield here for the Stallions, and they'll lead this game 1-0.
It's so crucial for the Stallions to get this run here. Just to have an advantage over Amsterdam is a great thing to say.
That one misses. It's ball 2. 2-0 count, 1 out. Genther is over at third. Conrad's at first. Hott at the plate with 1 out in the bottom of the first. Here's the pitch. That one's fouled off, and the count's 2-1.
We see Kidd having a little bit of trouble finding the zone right now. Over 8 innings on the season, he only has 2 walks. So not really a walkable pitcher, and the batter's got to know that. He's going to start throwing strikes soon.
He's only dealt 1 walk in this game. Conrad gets his lead there off of first. Hott swings through it, and the count's 2-2.
Taking a look at Amsterdam's last 3 games, June 18th against Watertown, a 6-5 win at Shuttle Park. Then June 16th on Saturday against Utica, an 8-3 win. And then June 15th, an 8-1 win against Oneonta.
Here's the 2-2. Hott goes down swinging. Second strikeout of the night for Colin Kidd, and it'll bring up Nate Manley here with 2 outs in the inning.
Manley, one of the hottest hitters on the Stallions right now. He's 8 for 17 at the plate, supporting a .471 batting average, a double, a triple, and 4 RBIs to his name for the Stallions.
Yeah, you mentioned it, AJ. Him and Josh Blackmore have been splitting reps behind the plate recently with Zach Anderson injured and out of the lineup. This guy had quite the game against Boonville. That 3 for 5, as you mentioned, 3 RBIs as well. Conrad goes to second. That one's hit to center field. O'Brien will have it for out number 3. So the Stallions strand 2 here in the bottom of the first. We head to the second, knotted at zeros. Dan Shalom with you alongside AJ DiBenedetto here in the Pack Hub broadcast booth. Top of the second, AJ. Stallions not able to convert on a prime opportunity there in the bottom half, first and third with one out.
They're going to be thinking about that opportunity for innings to come, but it's only the first inning. You got to take it away.
Why don't we talk about Sean Dirton over at SUNY Oswego this past season? Was really good, sporting a 2.92.
Sean Dirton defines himself as consistent improvement. 2022, he supported a 5.23 ERA in 13 appearances. Take it to 2023, a 6.87 over 10 appearances. But then when you take it to 2024, pure improvement, Dan, is the word I want to use. A 2.92 over 10 appearances and 4 games started.
He is a member of the Pack Hub National Transfer Portal team. Looking to go somewhere here for his 5th year. Pitching a good game so far and has pitched well overall for the Stallions through 5 innings, still giving up no runs. He'll have to face Cade Ladahoff, the first baseman. Ladahoff, one of the hottest hitters in the PGCBL.
Ladahoff on June 18th against Watertown, going 1 for 1 with 1 stolen base. Just keeping it calm, but on the season, batting a 388. 5 doubles, 2 home runs, and 8 RBIs.
He's been a core part of this Mohawks lineup. Has played every single game. Hasn't missed one. Dirton deals a first pitch strike. Dirton deals strike 2.
Dan, we saw this last game against Amsterdam at Cantina as well, where the starting pitcher goes 3 or 4 and does an excellent job. The only issue we have is we can't have anyone else come and throw the 12 walks like we saw.
Yeah, like you mentioned, AJ, in that last game, Mason Compton pitching 4 clean innings with a singular hit, but then the relievers coming in and blowing up this game for the Stallions.
It's where the starters have been excellent for the Stallions through 15 games so far.
His 0-2's down low for ball 1. Staff ERA is a 2.91. That's best in the entire PGCBL. East and West. Pitching coach Rich Doobie working some magic out there in the bullpen.
Doobie is a man you want to listen to and take advice from for sure.
That one's hit out into left field. Charging it is Ford. He's got it for out number 1.
Dirton doing nothing else than just playing the simple game of baseball right now. He's throwing strikes, and he's throwing them consistently. And he's got 4 straight outs with no runners on.
It'll bring Zach Eldred, the DH, to the dish, batting .367 this season. And, AJ, this guy also pitches. He's a Shohei Ohtani type of guy.
Doing a great job so far this season at the bat and on the mound. Goes to Brockport, a rising senior. Pitching a 1.84, Dan, over 3 games, starting all 3 in 14 2/3 inning pitched. Also struck out 9 of those batters.
Here's the 0-1. That one's in there for strike 2. Dirton doing a really nice job in this game, getting ahead.
Getting ahead is the name of the game, but we talked about Eldred's pitching, now to his hitting. 367 over 30 at-bats. Impressive at the bat and on the mound.
That one's fouled off to the left side. So we'll do it again at 0-2. Eldred, a guy that is transferring. He's in the portal for his 5th year. Has been busy with meetings. Wake Forest scouts on the ground here tonight, along with the Stony Brook head coach. 0-2 misses upstairs.
Stallions looking for revenge this season against Amsterdam. The past few seasons in 2021, the Stallions were your champs. Take it to 2022, it goes Mohawks. 2023, Mohawks. And now 2024, a battle for the win.
That one misses. Counts 2-2. 1 out here in this top half of the second. Dirton comes set, deals. That one's down low for ball 3. And Eldred thought that was a walk.
Got so excited he would get to give it a first there, but just a second full count of the game so far.
So a 3-2 count here with 1 out in the top half of the second. Eldred looking to be the first base runner of this game for the Mohawks. Here's the pitch. That one hit over to short. Fielding as Rodriguez throws to first, and there's 2 outs here in the top of the second.
A much-needed strike there. A run around first that wasn't needed, especially by a fast guy, Zach Eldred.
It'll bring Pete Daniel, the shortstop, to the dish. Daniel this season batting .378. He's been a staple of this Mohawks lineup.
Taking a trip from Nashville, Tennessee to New York, Pete Daniels, the freshman from Belmont. Yesterday, 0 for 1 at the plate, but scoring twice.
Dirton deals a first pitch strike. Daniel, another guy in this Mohawks lineup who's played every single game so far this season. Hasn't missed one. 0-1 misses down low. Amsterdam playing 14 games so far this season. If you take a look back at where they were last season through 14 games, they were also 12-2. 1-1's in there for strike 2.
Taking a look at Amsterdam's full season, though, last year, Dan, 36-5. They ended the season on a 2-game win streak and really just put it all out there.
That one's lined into right field for a base hit. It's the first base hit of the game for the Mohawks, and they've got a base runner here with 2 outs.
Daniel's just adding to the resume, taking it to the other side, and just getting a sweet, simple single.
Dirton left that off-speed high in the zone. Was easy for Daniel to poke it out to right field.
He won't be making that same mistake again. Dirton, a one-and-done type of pitcher on the mound.
It'll be Rob Rispoli, the second baseman, now up to bat. Rispoli only playing in 4 games this season and went 0 for 1 last night, but did have 3 walks against Watertown. That one misses outside. And, AJ, you got to watch Daniel's speed over there at first. He's got 6 stolen bases on the year.
With 2 outs now, the last thing you want to worry about is the runner with a Big East product at the bat of Rob Rispoli, the Yukon guy.
Going to second is Daniel. That one's hit to center field. Cuello is under it, and he's got it for out number 3. So the Mohawks are held scoreless here in the top of the second. We head to the bottom half. It's 0-0. Dan Shalom with you alongside AJ DiBenedetto here in the Pac Cup broadcast booth. AJ, this game looking eerily similar to the last time the Mohawks and Stallions met. No runs scored in that one till the top half of the 5th.
It's been a pitcher's duel so far. Both pitchers just going pitch by pitch, not thinking it more, and just going batter by batter like every coach would tell you.
Stallions had a chance to put a run on the board in that bottom of the first. Stranded runners at first and third with 1 out in the inning. Will look to change their fortunes with Matt McIntyre coming to the plate.
Matt McIntyre having a little bit of trouble right now, but saw himself on June 17th against Boonville going 2 for 3 with a triple and a walk.
Yeah, the average stands at .310. This is a guy that can hit, and AJ, you know that head coach Colin Martin is putting his best lineup out there when Matt McIntyre is batting 6th.
Coach Colin Martin has full trust in McIntyre, but baseball, you're not going to get a hit every time you're at bat.
Fouls that one back for strike 1. No score here in the bottom of the second between the Mohawks and the Stallions. Each team with a singular hit through 2 innings. That one misses off the outside. It's 1-1.
Good job by McIntyre. Less fidgety at the bat, just wanting to get a hit up the middle like he did in the first at-bat against Boonville.
The 1-1 misses upstairs for ball 2. McIntyre, a guy that went to New Haven this past season, has made instant impact for the Stallions. Started off really hot, has 2 home runs on the season, but looking to get back on track here against the Mohawks. 2-1s in there for strike 2.
You're seeing a little bit of hesitation there from McIntyre. Looked like he didn't want to swing at that pitch, but he's regretting that decision right now.
Here's the 2-2. That one misses down low, and the count goes full.
But taking a look at his college stats the past 2 seasons, he is a rising junior. 2024 as a sophomore, a 329, and then taking it back to his freshman year in 2023, a 360.
Consistent 300-plus hitter. The payoff pitch, down low. He does not go around, and it'll be a walk here in the bottom of the second to start the inning off for the Stallions.
Through 2 innings, Kid has tied his walks for the entire season through 3 starts.
And he'll have to go against a very hot hitter in the Stallions lineup, and left fielder Justin Ford, who's batting a .353 on the season.
Although he is batting a .353, he did have a little bit of an off game against Oneonta when he played, going 0 for 3 with just a walk.
Takes that one for ball 1. McIntyre over at first, Ford at the dish. Ford batting .638 out in high school. Didn't play that much as a freshman with Seton Hall, but is showing his potential here with the Stallions. Fouls that one off for strike 1.
Ford, a generational baseball player. The reason he chose Seton Hall, he chose it because of their great business school and just for the love of the game of baseball and the coaches that they provide.
And Seton Hall, a very solid program down there in New Jersey, playing in the Big East. Plays against a lot of his teammates in this league, along with a few Big East Conference foes. Check over on McIntyre. He's safe. Count.
Ford's just a hitter you want in the lineup, Dan, from batting at 1 or batting at 9. He's going to get you as many hits as he can.
He has great eye at the plate as well. Takes that one for ball 2. 3 walks on the season, and AJ, he's only struck out 3 times through 11 games.
He will not go down without a fight. He thinks of it as a one-on-one battle between him and the pitcher at every at-bat.
Hits that one over to left field. Williams goes back on it. He's got it for out number 1. Hard contact right there, but just couldn't find the right part of the ballpark.
Sometimes that's what happens. Sometimes the green isn't always where it needs to be. And right there, good contact by Ford, just a better catch by Williams.
It'll bring Ryan Rescio to the dish. Rescio, the first baseman in this one, batting .212 on the season.
Ryan Rescio, the 6'2", 200-pounder from Boca Raton, Florida. He's your Weber International guy, a well-known guy in the Colin Martin system.
Batted .295 down at Weber this past season. Takes that one for ball 1, and he's also a guy, AJ, that has some history with the Mohawks, playing the hero in the first game against Amsterdam of the season.
Being on the Mohawks coaching staff, you know the damage this guy did to you in the first game, and he got hits in the second game as well, just not coming around to score.
Another check over there on McIntyre. McIntyre this season only with a singular stolen base.
We've seen that a lot through these past few games, Dan. Just the pitchers just keeping an extra eye, just not allowing that extra base to get taken.
1-0 is in there for strike 1.
Dan, off of pure observation so far through 2 innings, Kid is not throwing the first pitch for a strike to many batters so far.
Here's the 1-1. That one is going to hit Rescio. There'll be runners at first and second here with 1 out in the bottom of the second.
Just a costly mistake that he wishes the pitch can be reversed and repitch that pitch again. He's now with 2 runners in scoring position with a hitter that can hit a ball 400 feet. not the scenario you want to be in.
Yeah, and a mound visit here for the Mohawks. They're going to want to talk things over. The man you're talking about, Anthony Marcano, the extra hitter in this one. He's batting .300 this season, has unlimited power.
The guy you want up in this scenario, he takes a step and just lets the ball travel and just swings like he means it.
We saw a 3-run jack against Albany in a 16-2 win 2 Wednesdays ago. AJ, that ball was crushed, about 400 feet.
We talked to a few of the long-timers at Cantine Field. A few of them saying that's the furthest ball we've ever seen hit at Cantine Field, and they were not laughing or smiling when they told me. They were dead serious, Dan.
So Marcano will come up to bat here with runners at first and second. 1 out in the inning, AJ. A similar situation to last inning with 2 runners on and 1 out.
A similar situation, but a hopeful different outcome for the Stallions now.
Marcano went 0 for 2 against Boonville, but did walk twice and came around to score, and both those times he got on the base paths. First pitch from Kidd, in there for a strike.
Marcano, not really a local kid. Went to Inspiration Academy in Florida for high school, and then went to UMass Lowell close to home because he was not a lot at home as a kid.
He's, of course, a member of the Pack-Up National Transfer Portal team. That one's grounded to the left side. It is going to be foul.
Before his time at UMass Lowell, he played at Northern Essex Community College. He hit a .482, coming around to score 61 times, and had 57 RBIs with 13 home runs.
Guy with lots of potential, looking for a new home next season. Trying to work himself out of an 0-2 count here with 1 out in the bottom of the second. The pitch from Kidd, down low, takes it for ball 1.
One of his favorite sports figures is a third baseman as well, Manny Machado. So kind of playing the game like him.
Trying to replicate Manny's success. 1-2, 1 out. Here's the pitch to Marcano. That one's hit over to short. Fielding it as Daniel had trouble with it. Throws to first. That one sails right over. 1 run will score. Recio moves up to third, and the Stallions plate their first run of the game off a Pete Daniel error.
Looking at it now, Dan, he regrets that fully. Now trailing 1-0 on a ball you could have just held. Bases loaded, 1 out. You still have potential for the double play.
Yeah, you're exactly right, AJ. That's just an unnecessary throw right there. No reason for him to throw it over, knowing that Marcano was safe over there at first. Stallions plate the first run of this ball game. They're up 1-0. It'll bring Rich Rodriguez to the plate. Rodriguez goes around for strike 1. Rodriguez, the shortstop, batting .310 this season, and went 1 for 3 last night against Oneonta with a single.
Also a Weber International kid, Dan. A lot of guys from Weber coming here to Saugerties.
Takes that one outside for ball 1. Marcano is over at first. Recio is at third. Stallions are up 1-0 after a Pete Daniel error.
And we talk about consistency as well for Rich Rodriguez. 2023 at Weber, a 207. 2024, a 314.
That one's in there for strike 2. And that's a rare error from Daniel, too. He's very consistent over there at short.
He's been the everyday shortstop for the Mohawks, and they're tied for first in the East Division. That's the guy you want to make the play.
That one's taken outside for ball 2. Make sure to stay with us for the top of the third. We'll have Andrew Amato, the 2023 PGCBL MVP, joining us on the broadcast. Is ready to play with the Stallions as well in uniform tonight. That one is down low. Marcano is going to scoot over to second. Heads up base running there by Anthony Marcano.
In his Northern Essex Community College days, 21 stolen bases. He can read when a ball's in the dirt, and he knows I'm going or I'm not. He can decipher it pretty quickly.
So now runners are at second and third. A full count in the bottom of the second. Colin Kidd's got himself in some trouble. Here's the payoff. That one's outside, and the bases are loaded here for the Stallions with one out in the bottom of the second.
He started the count 0 for 2, Rodriguez. But a man that has 5 walks on the year, great plate discipline, fought back, and just earned his 6th walk of the year.
And now a perfect opportunity for a guy to get back on track, that being Mike Cuello. Went down on 3 pitches in that bottom of the first.
We saw the power he has. We saw the speed he has and contains. This is the perfect opportunity for Mike Cuello at bat now.
Bases are loaded. It's a 1-0 game with one out in the bottom of the second. Cuello hits that one to right field. Going back on it is Hager. This should score a run. Recio tags. Going to third is Marcano, and it's 2-0 Stallions here in the bottom of the second.
Everyone on the Stallions bench is getting up and going to give Mike Cuello a high five because he did a job and did nothing more than that.
Stallions lead it 2-0 here in the bottom of the second against the arch rival Amsterdam Mohawks. AJ, this game already being different than the last one at Cantine Field with the Stallions getting ahead early.
Stallions looking back at those games and finding the errors and the mishaps on things that are mental and fixable. They fixed those things so far through too.
Runners are at first and third here with Fritz Genther at the dish. 2 outs in this bottom of the second. Genther walked in the bottom of the first. First pitch to him is a strike.
Genther, a local guy from Kingston, New York.
Runners are at first and third. There's 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Here's the pitch. That one's upstairs for ball 1.
All improvement from these batters in college, all of them showing pure heart. 2022, batted a 290. 2023, a 324. Back to 2024, a 281. He gets on base, Fritz.
1-1 is taken down low for ball 2. Now, AJ, not a guy you want to walk in Genther because if you do walk him, it's bases loaded with Ethan Conrad at bat.
Definitely not the scenario you want if you're a kid.
2-1 is hit out to left field. Charging it is Williams. He's got it for out number 3. Andrew Amato joining us in the top of the third. Stay with us. Stallions leading by 2.
I think we're keeping it a secret that you're back tomorrow.
Dan Shalom with you alongside AJ DiBenedetto and Andrew Amato, the 2023 League MVP. Andrew, how we doing? Yeah, of course. Very excited to chat with you. Before we get into anything, why don't you tell the audience who you are and how you're returning to the Stallions for this season?
Yeah. So Andrew Amato had a great summer in Saugerties, obviously.
Well, technical difficulties. There you go. Tell us now.
Yeah, sorry guys. Andrew Amato played with the Stallions last summer. Great time at Saugerties. Wouldn't have traded for the world. Yeah, they're talking about me on the field now. But yeah, I'm making my return to Saugerties, letting the world know now. I'll be here for the rest of the summer. Hopefully getting going Sunday is the plan as of now. So I can't wait to get going.
So you know this Amsterdam rivalry more than anybody. What does this game mean here tonight?
Yeah, this is everything in the division right here too. The top teams, obviously, we've been going back and forth with them for many years now. Obviously, two great coaches leading the way. It's great baseball all around. It's always a good game when Amsterdam comes into town or we go to them.
Liam Wilson at the dish for his first plate appearance, the third baseman, batting .235 this season. The 1-0 from Dirton just misses. And now, Andrew, we got to talk about an absolute monster. Batted .415, 14 home runs, 40. Do it.
Was the main goal. Didn't think 10 plus homers was really going to happen.
Yeah, you had 16 base hits last season. That's kind of a game season. That one's in there for strike one. Luke Seppen catcher. His second game of the season with Amsterdam. Comes from West Virginia. Here's the 0-1. That one's looped out to right field. Conrad coming in for it. He's got it. 2 outs here in the top of the third. Speaking of Conrad, Andrew, you played with Ethan Conrad last season. What can you tell us about this kid?
Everything about him, all the hype this summer, all the schools on him. Just a classic.
Hager at the dish here for the Mohawks. He's the 10 hole tonight. Batting .333 coming into this one off of 5 games. The 1-0 from Dirton. Hit out right towards Conrad's way. Shading over for it. That one gets over his head. It'll bounce up against the wall. Going for 3 here is Hager. He's going to get there. So a 2-out triple here for Evan Hager in the top of the third. First of the season for Hager. Now, Andrew, I want to ask you, just what can you speak to about this organization as a whole? You coming back for a second season speaks volumes, but just the facility, the field, everything in between.
Yeah, it's top tier. There's nothing else about it. Let's start. He's a classic.
That one's popped up on the infield. Dirtinger's got it for number 3. He's pitched 3 clean innings. We head to the bottom half. Stallions leading by 2. Back here, Dan Shalom with you alongside Andrew Amato and AJ DiBenedetto in the Pack Hub broadcast booth. Andrew, why don't we talk about this past season for you at Delaware? .264 average, 51 games played. You were a monster down there.
Yeah.
I mean, take me through the season.
Yeah, the season started off really hot for me, really great. I battled a few injuries that I played through, unfortunately, during the year, which kind of, set me back. But I was able to stay on the field and stay healthy. Obviously, we have a great group down at Delaware. Coach Mams does a great job with us and our hitters and pitching staff as well. Coach Casey Klein, he accepted a new job at Jacksonville, but he's a great human being. He's going to do great things over there. But he handled our pitching staff really well. Overall, as a team, we had a great year, and shout out to our medical team too, and our trainer, first year Sarah. She was unbelievable in handling my rehab and keeping me on the field. It was a great year all around.
Yeah, you talk about the pitching staff. One of your teammates is on this team in Elias Conway.
Yeah.
He was dirty in his last outing. 6 batters faced, 6 strikeouts. What did you see from him down at Delaware?
Yeah, I mean, obviously as a freshman coming in, everyone gets jitters. I had him myself, and he found his role, and he had some highs and he had some lows. Obviously, we all did as a freshman, but just seeing him out here working with Doobie and really finding his own, and coming into that complete pitcher that we all knew he could be is just everything we've wanted to see and more. And I couldn't be happier for him. Another guy off the field that you won't hear anything about that's wrong. He's a fantastic human being, comes from a great family. He's a Class A human.
So it'll be a new arm on the mound here for the Mohawks in the bottom of the third. Colin Kidd getting pulled after just 2 innings. It's Justice Augusto. Augusto this season sporting a 9 ERA through 3 games, 8 innings pitched, 11 strikeouts, 6 walks. He'll have to go against Ethan Conrad, who's been the hottest hitter in the Stallions lineup, to open up his night. First pitch is in there for a strike. Conrad at the dish, singled in his first plate appearance. That being in the bottom of the first. That one's outside. Andrew, I want to ask you about the balance for you between, of course, baseball, but also school. You were on the CSAA Academic All-Region team, and you've been on that list a few times. Yep. What's that balance like for you as Conrad smokes this one deep right field? That ball's going. It is gone. 4th homer of the season for Ethan Conrad. That leads the PGCBL, and it's 3-0 Stallions.
He's everything you want. How could you not want him on your team? Glad he's with us, that's for sure.
So the first batter that Justice Augusto faces goes yard in the form of Ethan Conrad, and that one was smoked. That looked like your swing from last year.
Yeah, like I said, he works harder than everyone, man. He had a tremendous spring, obviously tapping into his power potential. He's electric, man. Very happy for him, very happy to see the success he's having early on this summer. He's a great guy.
Hot fouls that one off. So back to my previous question before we got interrupted by the Conrad bomb. What's that balance like for you?
Yeah, obviously something my parents integrated in me from a very young age is school's first. School always comes first. Always have to have good grades. And, what Coach Mams preaches at Delaware is how you do something is how you do everything. How you handle your schoolwork, how you handle your daily routine, how you go about your daily business is how everything else is going to translate. So, incorporating that into every aspect of, school for me has been a big thing for me. It's keeping that routine, taking care of business in the classes, big thing showing up to class. Obviously, it's hard. We're on the road a lot of late nights, early mornings for us, but showing up to class, taking care of business every day has been the most important thing.
So a ground out there to third for Byram Hott. It'll bring up Nate Manley, the catcher. He's 0 for 1 tonight. Stallions leading at 3-0 here in the bottom of the third. Here's the pitch. That one's upstairs. Now, Andrew, Stallions taking their first trip of the season up to Shuttleworth Park tomorrow. What's that atmosphere up there in Amsterdam?
It's a great atmosphere. They do a great job. Last year it was always packed. The fans get into it. It's a great summer ball environment to get into. It's you get the adrenaline pumping in the first inning when all the players come out with the smoke cannons and stuff. It's a cool environment, man, and they do a great job up there. Credit to them and their whole organization for what they've been able to produce for these years. It's always fun to play there. Everyone loves to play there. It's a gorgeous park. Love the trees around it. It's awesome.
2-1 count here to Nate Manley, 1 out in the bottom of the third. Manley batting .471 coming into this game. Fouls that one off for strike 2. 2-2 count, 1 out in the bottom of the third. Now, Andrew, what does it mean to you to be back here for a second season for the Stallions? And can we expect the same production from you in year 2?
I'm going to try my best. I'll give you that. I'll give it my all every single day I'm on the field. Obviously, I'm not going to make any promises I can't keep of putting up the same numbers, but I'm gonna certainly try my best. It's a game of baseball. You got a round ball, round bat, and you got to hit it square. It's hard. It's not easy to do. It's not easy what I did last year, but I'm going to try my best. I'm going to trust my abilities, trust my preparation. It means everything to be back here. I remember coming off the freeway when I was moving some of my stuff here last week, and I had the biggest smile on my face. It felt like home. It felt like home, that's for sure. So I love it up here, man. There's nothing I can complain about. I mean, look at the ballpark. It's gorgeous. It's such a nice area. I love the mountains. I love everything about it. The kids are great. All the young ones running around. You see a foul ball, and it's a horde of 40 of them running after a ball. It's a great environment. It's a great little baseball town, which I love the most too. Everything's integrated around baseball here. You look around the park, and there's all the fields around. All the little league games going around. I know Doobie said on a podcast that's what he loved most is the environment here. And the environment's truly special. It's a baseball town. And I think that's what makes it really special for all the older guys to come here and see where we were 13, 14 years ago when we were young like that.
Couldn't agree with you more. It's an 0-2 count here to the DH Matt McIntyre. And, Andrew, we are going to have you on the Stable, our Saugerties Stallions podcast in these next few days.
Definitely excited for that.
That'll be a good one. We interviewed Kevin Hinchy earlier today. That one will be dropping tomorrow. McIntyre goes down on strikes to end this bottom of the third, but the Stallions take a 3-0 lead. Andrew, thank you so much for joining us here in the booth, and we're excited to see you out on the field soon.
It, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Fourth of the inning coming up. Stallions leading by 3. Dan Shalom with you alongside AJ DiBenedetto here in the Pack Hub broadcast booth. AJ, we had a little bit of technical difficulties there, so we couldn't hear you for an inning, but glad to be back with you.
Yeah, glad to be back. I was on the side listening to Andrew Amato say the beautiful things he just had to say in that inning, and he just got to witness his teammate Ethan Conrad hit a moonshot over the scoreboard in right field.
Yeah, that's Conrad's now 4th home run of the season. It leads the entire PGCBL. That extending the Stallion lead to 3. Sean Dirtinger back on the mound here for Saugerties. And AJ, Dirtinger's pitched a great game so far.
Dirtinger looking like first Dirtinger start where he did win player of the game. We talked about it. He threw for 4 innings, gave up a walk, and 1 hit. A very simple but effective game there for Sean Dirtinger.
Dirtinger getting ready. Here's the first pitch. Tries to lay down bunt from Michael O'Brien. O'Brien in this game, he's 0 for 1. Dirtinger has an 0-1 count. Stallions here leading by 3 in the bottom of the top of the 4th. Excuse me. Here's the pitch from Dirtinger. That one's hit out to center field. Cuello takes a couple steps back. He's got it for out number 1. It's a perfect time to wish our other intern, our music guy, Jack Viator, a very happy birthday here in Saugerties. Jack, happy birthday. Turning 20 today. The big 2-0. Very happy birthday to Jack. He's been putting out some of those great graphics and highlight reels that you've seen on the socials lately. He's been doing a great job. One out here in the top of the fourth. It'll bring Jackson Natilli, the extra hitter, to the dish. Natilli pops this one up to the right side. Resio is under it. He's got it a quick 2 outs here in the top of the fourth.
2 outs for Dirton in his 4th inning of play, doing an absolute fabulous job, doing exactly what Coach Doobie told him to do coming in today. Limit the walks, limit the balls, throw strikes, and good things will happen as we're seeing right now.
It'll bring Cade Ladahoff, the first baseman. Ladahoff is 0 for 1 tonight, flew out over to left field in the top of the second. That one's in there for strike 1 from Dirton.
Dan, taking a look at Amsterdam's 2023 batting stats compared to their 24 batting stats. 2023, they were batting a .319 with 27 home runs. That's a full year's game of play. But now looking at the 2024 stats so far through 15 games, an average of .305 with 4 home runs. So tell me what you think about that, just between saying those two stats.
I mean, it's hard to tell, right? What you do know, Cade Ladahoff, a guy that is a staple of the Mohawk lineup, has been in there every single game, including tonight. AJ, that .388 batting average, too, daunting when pitchers see it. He also has 2 home runs on the season. Went 1 for 1 last night against Watertown. Here's the 2-1. That one misses on the inside. It's 3-1.
Cade Ladahoff, used of the New Jersey, New York area, but originally from Florida, so you can understand where the baseball mentality of play comes into hand when you get all year-round baseball.
Here's the 3-1. In there, and it's a full count.
Only the 3rd full count we've seen today, Dan. This is through 4 innings. Yesterday, take us back to 14 full counts, back to Albany 14, and then the second Glen Falls game 13.
That one hit over to Hot, throws across the diamond for out number 3. Stallions doing a great job limiting Amsterdam to nothing through 4 innings. They lead it by 3 as we head to the bottom of the 4th. Dan Shalom with you alongside AJ DiBenedetto here in the bottom of the 4th. Stallions are leading by 3. Justin Ford coming to the bat. AJ, what have you seen from this Stallions lineup so far tonight?
Stallions lineup from 1 to 9 has just been consistent. They all have understood the assignment before coming into the game, which was beat the Mohawks. And I think it was a worldwide message in Saugerties as we see a great attendance of fans today at Cantine Field.
Right, but you have to be cautious with that. This game still has a long way to go, and the Mohawks last time here at Cantine Field didn't score a run till the top of the 5th, where they scored 3. So still lots to be cautious about. Justin Ford at the plate. He was batting .353 coming into this game. The 0-1 from Augusto's upstairs. It's 1-1.
Justin Ford, more of an everyday player than we've seen from the beginning of the season. Not a ton for the coaches to go off prior to the Stallions summer season.
Absolutely tearing it up here in the 8-4-5. As we mentioned, the 353, but went 0 for 3 last night against Oneonta, searching for a hit here tonight. That one's looped over to right field. Under it is Hager. He's got it for out number 1.
Dan, taking a look at out after out after out, the pitchers are doing such a good job on just making it into easy ground balls, easy fly balls, easy foul balls. You know, it's just giving the defense opportunities to get easy outs here.
Ryan Rescio stepping up to the plate. Rescio, the second run of this game for the Stallions, was hit by a pitch in the bottom of the second. That one misses for ball 1.
And we talk about Rescio, Dan, one of the hottest hitters on the Stallions between the first 4 games. He was sitting at a 557 through 4, kind of digressing but looking to find back on track.
That one misses. It's 2-0. Rescio was the hero against Amsterdam 2 Sundays ago here at Cantine Field. That gave the Stallions their first win against the Mohawks this season. Here's the 3-0. That one's in there for strike 1.
Not a lot of 3-0 counts we've seen today through the Mohawks and Stallions pitching staff, making it limited to each batter.
The 3-1. Rescio swings through it, and the count's full.
4th full count of the day today, Dan. A lot less than we've seen in the past few games.
Stallions looking for their 3rd win against the Mohawks here at Cantine Field ever. That one's hit out to left field. Williams shades over. He's got it. And there's 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th.
Dan, taking a look at the Mohawks defense from left to right, you got Williams in left, O'Brien in center, Hager in right, and then at the Stallions, you have Ford in left, Cuello in center, Conrad in right. 6 for 6 on consistent and effective outfielders that are going to get to the ball.
It'll be Anthony Marcano now up to bat. Marcano, it reached on an E6 in that bottom of the 2nd. That one misses for ball 1. Marcano did a great job there, AJ, just putting the ball in play in that bottom of the 2nd, allowing Ryan Rescio to get over to 3rd and Matt McIntyre to score. Swings through that one, and it's 1-1.
Taking a look at Marcano's swing just from left to right, it's a straight swing, no uppercut, no lower cut. That's why he's been so effective with the high 300 average.
The 1-1 from Augusto. Outside, 2-1. Marcano batting 300 coming into this game. A member of the Pack-Up National Transfer Portal team. If you want to be on the Pack-Up National Transfer Portal team, go and sign up on their link in their bio on Twitter. 2-1's fouled back, and it's 2-2.
Dan, taking a look at Augusto throughout the season, a 9 ERA coming into this game. We saw he gave up a home run to Conrad. But in his last start on June 14th against Mohawk Valley in a 6-1 win, 4 innings pitched, 6 strikeouts, 17 batters faced. He's proved he's good on the mound.
Yeah, gave up no earned runs in that one either, but got tagged by Ethan Conrad, that being the first batter he faced here tonight. Full count, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Stallions leading by 3. Marcano swings through it for strike 3. Stallions go down in order 1, 2, 3, but still lead by 3 as we head to the 5th. Stay right with us. Dan Challen with you alongside AJ DiBenedetto, gearing up for the top of the fifth. Sean Dirtinger leaves this game. A great outing out of him. Dealt 4 clean innings, only giving up 2 hits. The new arm on the mound here for the Stallions is Elias Conway. And in Conway's last appearance in Glens Falls on Sunday night, 6 batters faced and 6 strikeouts. Looking to do the same thing here tonight, but struggled against Amsterdam in his last appearance at Cantine Field against the Mohawks. In that one, dealt a single inning of work, 1 hit, 3 runs, and 4 walks. So a man who's been hot lately, AJ, and is trying to keep it going here against the Mohawks.
We saw the Rich Doobie effect put onto him at Glen Falls on Sunday. Just looking to do the same thing today. Maybe not 6 strikeouts and 6 batters, Dan, but looking to be as effective on the mound as last time.
The first batter he faces is going to be Zach Eldred. Eldred in this game is 0 for 1, grounded out over to short, that being in the top of the second. First pitch from Conway is in there for a ball.
Dan, we talk about how lucky any organization is to have a pitcher that has a sub-2 ERA and a hitter that can hit the ball that's batting 5 for you today.
Here's the 1-0. That one's in there for strike 1. AJ, we got to go back to Sunday night for Elias Conway. Complete flip from the Amsterdam outing, punching out 6 straight batters in the 2 innings that he worked.
Yeah, looking at him in the bullpen with Coach Rich Doobie was mesmerizing, as Coach Doobie giving him MLB tips, ones that he used to give to former pitchers for the 2008 Phillies World Series ring.
Yeah, we talked to Conway after that Glens Falls game, and he said his struggles was with the disposition of his weight and just figuring that out, and also the extension of the arm, keeping that right leg back further, allowing him to get through the pitch. Here's the 1-2. Fouled off, and we'll keep it at 1-2.
And Conway seeing a familiar face on the bench right now, Andrew Amato, 2 Delaware product guys, and Delaware just gelling some incredible hitters, incredible pitchers, and incredible baseball players. A great organization over there.
Here's the 1-2 from Conway. That one's hit over to second. Genther grabs it, makes a nice 360 play, and gets it over to first in time for out number 1.
We saw a similar play like that in Glen Falls, and it was an unbelievable play at second base, repeating history in the top of the 5th there by Prince Genther.
Genther doing a nice job there. It'll bring up the shortstop, Pete Daniel. He's 1 for 1 tonight, has 1 of 2 Mohawk hits.
Pete Daniels with a hit at the bat, but we also saw that mishap of a throw. We overthrew to first. Marcano hit it to him and allowed a run to score.
That one misses, down low for ball 1. Dirtinger leaves this game, AJ. A great line for him here tonight. 4 innings pitched, 2 hits, no runs, a one strikeout, and no walks. That one's in there for a strike. And now, AJ, Dirtinger has pitched 8 innings this season, only giving up 3 hits and no runs.
Yeah, looking at the bigger overall picture, the 2023 pitching staff put up a 4.61 ERA. But now you look at the 2024 putting up a 2.91. Looking at the 2023, a 4.61. A major improvement. Had the same pitching coach, Rich Doobie, just pitchers understanding more of what Coach Doobie is saying.
And more talent as well through the Pac Hub National Transfer Portal team. 1-2 count here to Pete Daniel. 1 out in the top of the 5th. Here's the pitch from Conway. That one's hit out to center field. It will get down for a base hit. It'll be the first base runner for the Mohawks since the top of the 3rd, here with 1 out in the top of the 5th.
Being the Mohawks manager, being the Mohawks hitting coach, it has to be an absolute pleasure working with Pete Daniels. He hits it where you want him to hit it. He just puts the bat out and the ball goes.
It'll be Rob Rispoli now to the plate. Rispoli flew out to center field in the top of the second. That ended the top half of the second for the Mohawks. Daniel leads off of first. First pitch from Conway is a strike. We talk about Conway and the motion, but his pitch mix, the fastball, is really effective for him.
As a lefty throwing high velocity, it's way more effective sometimes than a righty because it's more on the uncommon side.
Gets ahead here, it's 0-2. Conway is one strikeout behind Nick Pettit to lead the PGCBL. He has 21 on the season, AJ.
It's been a friendly battle between those two in the clubhouse.
Here's the 0-2. That one is grounded over to Hott. A chance for two. Over to Genther. Over to Resio at first. And Rispoli is going to be safe, but the Stallions get the lead runner, and there's 2 outs.
Great job by Hott there, getting the more important out, leaving the runner out of scoring position. Now with 2 outs, Conway only has to worry about Rispoli on first.
It'll bring Liam Wilson, the third baseman, up. Wilson flew out over to right field in that top half of the third. Went 0 for 2 against Watertown last night. First pitch from Conway is a ball.
And Dan, looking at the standings between the Amsterdam Mohawks and the Stallions, we're tied at 12-2.
Yeah, the winner of this game will be first in the PGCBL. And then, of course, whoever loses, AJ, has a chance to hop right back up tomorrow with the second part of this home-and-home at Shuttleworth Park.
That's the best part about having a back-to-back. If you lose one, you have an advantage to win one. So not all hopes are down in the clubhouse if a team loses today.
Stallions leading this one 3-0 here in the top of the 5th. Runner at first is Rispoli. Wilson is at the dish. Here's the 2-0. Fouled off, and the count's 2-1.
Stallions, the third consecutive game where we've seen not an error yet. We saw no errors against Glen Falls on Saturday, none on Sunday, none on Boonville on Monday, so this would be the 4th game.
And none against Oneonta, of course, last night. Here's the 2-1. Gets him swinging, and the count's 2-2. Conway really effective with the off-speed there.
Dan, you talk about gelling between a catcher and a pitcher. Manly understanding these pitchers now. 2 different colleges, first year on the Stallions for both of them. You got to understand what the pitcher's throwing, and you have to understand what the catcher's going to call.
2-2, 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. Here's the pitch. That one went off the knob of the bat. We'll see what the umpires say here. To me, AJ, it seemed like it went off the knob right there.
It looked like it, and it sounded like that as well. With a wood bat, it gives a distinct sound when the ball is hit off of it.
They're going to call that a strike, and they'll call it a swing. So first strikeout of the night here for Elias Conway. He gets out of the inning. The Mohawks strand a runner at first. They put up 5 straight zeros. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Stallions leading by 3. Dan Shalom here with you alongside AJ DiBenedetto in the Pack Hub broadcast booth. AJ, a couple of defensive changes here for the Mohawks in that bottom half, or in the top half of the fifth now for the bottom half. Head coach not liking Pete Daniels' error. He's out of this game.
Although he does have the 2 hits of this game, an interesting change for the Mohawks. Moving Ristoli to short and Stewart to second.
So, yeah, Aiden Stewart comes in at second base. Rispoli shades over now to short. That one's upstairs for a ball. Aiden Stewart, of course, goes to Delaware. Teammates with Conway and Amato, both down there this past season. Here's the 1-0. Rich Rodriguez at the plate for the Stallions. Rodriguez came into this game batting .310. That mark's still the same after a walk in the bottom of the second. That one's hit out to center field. O'Brien is under it for out number 1.
Dan, we consistently are seeing outs, but we are up 3-0. Coming 2 in the second, 1 in the third, but other than that, it's been great pitching by both teams.
Yeah, the Stallions in this game limiting the Mohawks to just 3 hits. Really good stuff here by the staff, and the Stallions are up 3 runs off of only 2 hits. Top of the lineup, it's Mike Cuello up to bat. Cuello hits this one up the middle for a base hit. And Cuello needed that one, AJ.
Definitely needed that one in the first inning. We saw a strikeout swinging. In the second inning, a sac fly to get a run on the board. Now he's on base with a single. All smiles on the base.
Progression, one thing at a time. It'll bring Fritz Genther to the dish. He's 0 for 1 tonight, but has a walk in the bottom of the first. Cuello's speedy over there at first. He has 6 stolen bases on the year.
Cuello, not someone you want on first base with only 1 out, and even a speedier guy at the plate.
Stallions haven't tried the arm of Zepic just yet in this game. We'll see if Cuello dares to do so. And, AJ, 1 out here in this inning. Ethan Conrad looms on deck.
We saw the damage he's done already. Don't let him add more.
Genther hits this one to center field. It will get down for a base hit. And now there's runners at first and second here with Ethan Conrad coming up, who had a solo shot in his last at-bat.
Dan, I don't mean to cut you off here, but taking a look at O'Brien in center field, a 100 IQ play. Faked like the ball was going to be caught, stopped Cuello to go back to first, and almost got him out at second there by half a step.
So Ethan Conrad, he's 2 for 2 tonight, a single in the bottom of the first, a solo shot in the bottom of the third, that being the 3rd Stallion run of the game. 16 RBIs on the season. Runners at first and second, here's the pitch, and that one is in there for a strike. A.J. Augusto, the first batter he faced in this outing, was Conrad, and he let up a home run.
The perfect time for a home run, too. We had guest Andrew Amato in, led the PGCBL in home runs last year, and watched his teammate Ethan Conrad hit a home run on the mic.
Genther at first, Cuello at second, 1 out. Here's the 0-1. That one's outside for ball 1.
Talking about Conrad being the hardest worker, the first at the facility, the last one to leave, and there's a reason why he's going to a Power 5 school. All hard work.
Yeah, Amato and Conrad, teammates this past year with the Stallions, both back for year 2. 1-1, 1 out. Here's the pitch. Misses down low, and the count's 2-1. Not a count you want to be in if you're Augusto.
Augusto, thinking about what happened last time, we saw a fastball inside get crushed over the 360 sign, over the scoreboard. Not going to be found again, but he has to change his approach this time around.
Augusto comes set. Now deals. Conrad going for the home run swing right there. It's 2-2.
Looked like that same home run swing, except this one just got a little under it. 2-2 count. Expect anything here. Augusto is going to try to get you off guard.
2-2 count, 1 out, bottom of the 5th. Runners at first and second here for the Stallions. Looking to tack on more. Here's the pitch. Conrad fouls that one off to the left side, and we'll do it again at 2-2.
And you want to talk about a hitter that hasn't hit under 300 in a college season? You're looking at him. Ethan Conrad, 2024 as a sophomore, 389, 9 home runs, 52 RBIs. Take it to his 2023 year as a freshman, 320, 3 home runs, and 32 RBIs. Consistency, improvement, and look at where he is now.
Going to Wake Forest next year. Here's the 2-2. Takes that one, and the count goes full.
5th full count of the day, only through 5. Pitcher's doing a good job limiting the balls compared to the strikes today.
Not a guy you want to be in a full count against here with Conrad at the dish. Has a homer in this game, looking for the second. Runners are at first and second. Here's the pitch. He takes that one, and the bases are loaded here for the Stallions in the bottom of the 5th. Great plate discipline there from Conrad.
Conrad sought himself in a 2-2, fouled it off, got a 3-2, and he went with the changeup on that 6th pitch at the at-bat. Interesting idea. Conrad saw it, picked it off, held his swing.
So Byram hot now with a prime opportunity to blow this game wide open. The bases are loaded, and there's one out here in the bottom of the 5th. Hot tonight is 0 for 2, a guy that needs a hit right now. Corners are in for the Mohawks. They'll play the double play defense. Here's the first pitch. That one's upstairs for ball 1. Hot a guy you want up in this situation, AJ.
Hot is hot at the plate, but taking a look at the pitching right now for the Mohawks, similar to the Stallions last time they met, really having trouble finding the strike zone or getting the easy outs.
The 1-0. That one misses. And it's now 2-0, and AJ, we mentioned Hot. He's committed to Louisville for next year through Pack-Up. 0 for 11 here, though, in his last 11 at-bats. A guy that could use a hit right now with the bases loaded.
This is the perfect opportunity for a hit, and he knows that, too. He's looking for something up the middle right now.
A 2-0 count. Bases are loaded. 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. Here's the pitch. Swings through it for strike 1. Was trying to smash that ball.
Interesting 2-1 slider there by Augusto. Not the pitch you're expecting for a pitcher that's having trouble finding the zone.
Two-one count, bases are loaded. Here's the pitch from Augusto. Hot fouls that one back, and the count goes to 2-2.
Going with another slider there, Dan. 2-0 slider, 2-1 slider. Augusto obviously comfortable with the slider is what I'm trying to say.
Count is 2-2. There's 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. Stallions with a chance to blow the game wide open. They lead by 3, and they could make it as much as 7 here with 1 swing. Quayo over at 3rd. Genther is at 2nd, and Conrad is over at 1st. Here's the 2-2. Upstairs, and the count goes full.
You saw a full count with Conrad, now with Hot. Can't really get the punch out right now for Augusto. Amsterdam pitching staff having trouble the past 2-3 innings.
Augusto with just 2 strikeouts in this game, at risk of walking Hot right here. The payoff pitch. Grounded right over to Rispoli. He throws over to first. In time, he's safe. Not in time. It wasn't in time, so that'll be an RBI ground out. They get Conrad over at 2nd, and the Stallions lead it 4-0.
Exactly what Hot probably didn't want going into that at-bat. But hustle got him an RBI. A fielder's choice, tried to get the double play. Hot didn't allow that and hustled it out, allowing his team to go up 4 now instead of 3.
That's a big 4th run, AJ. That now keeps the Mohawks at bay, adds some insurance runs into the bank for the Stallions. Nate Manley at the dish. Still runners on 1st and 3rd here with 2 outs. Takes that one, and it seems like Augusto's having real trouble locating the zone right here.
First pitch, an uncommon strike so far through 5. But let's talk about Manley coming into this game. A 471 now, 2 runners on. He's been getting hits all day, every day we've seen. This is a time now.
Small but mighty. Takes that one for strike 1. For 4-0 Stallions here in the bottom of the 5th. Winner of this game will be in first place in the PGCBL. 1-1 is in there with the off speed. It's 1-2.
Dan, taking a look at his last 3 games, 3 for 5, 2 for 3, 2 for 3. He's getting multiple hits a game with multiple at-bats. Doesn't have a hit yet, 0 for 2. Looking for that hit right now on his 3rd at-bat.
1-2 count, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Hot will go. Strike 3, he got him. The Stallions plate 1 run but leave 2 on base. They lead it by 4 as we head to the 6th. Dan Shalom with you alongside AJ DiBenedetto here in the Pack Hub broadcast booth. AJ, we're getting ready for the 6th, and it's been pitching for the Stallions, putting up 5 straight zeros.
5 straight zeros, but also the hitting staying consistent. 2 in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 5th. More runs than we saw in their last matchup, but the same, almost the same as their first matchup.
I mean, it's hard not to talk about Elias Conway. He now has 7 strikeouts through his last 2 games. He only has faced, AJ, get this, 10 batters, 7 strikeouts.
He's liking that 3rd strike punch out by the home plate umpires. He's seeing it, he's smiling, and he's continuing to do it.
So it'll be Luke Zepic up to the dish. Zepic in this game, he's 0 for 1, a flyout over to right field, that being in the bottom of the 3rd. First pitch from Conway is a ball here in the top of the 6th. Stallions leading this one by 4 after tacking on another run of insurance in that bottom half of the 5th.
Dan, taking a look at the Mohawks catchers, they have 6 catchers in their roster. Saugerties only has 3, 2 of them being active right now. It's a complete different idea, motive going into this game.
Yeah, you look into Zepic as well. It's only his 2nd game with the team, comes from the University of West Virginia, went 0 for 3 in his debut last night, and had a walk.
A tall catcher. Catcher is usually not having a ton of height, standing at 6'4".
He grounds this one over to the left side. Rodriguez fields, throws to first, got him for out number 1.
And Dan, we talk about the reversible shortstop, second base, and third basemen coming in every day. All of these guys can reverse each other and next inning switch into different positions and just be as effective.
You know, AJ, how I see it, it's like when you're playing MLB The Show and you look into secondary positions. These guys can play all the infield positions.
And that's the best part about the Stallions this year. They diverse in the positions they play. They're not just stuck at one position. It's any position you need them for, they're there.
The Evan Hager, the right fielder, up to bat now. Hager in this game has a triple. That one coming in the top half of the 3rd, was never able to be brought home, though. And it seems like Conrad lost that one in the lights over there and right on that triple. Here's the 1-0. That one misses, and we talk about the lights. The lights are on. Call Richards Electric.
We're taking a look at Hager, an SEC type of player, goes to Bama. A rising sophomore now, 15 at-bats, and he's batting a .333. So SEC consistency.
That average up now with that triple in the top of the third. Swings through that one, and it's 2-1.
Obviously, a little early on that one, Hager trying to crush it. Saw a triple his first at-bat. Pulled his head there. That's the name of a strikeout, though. So you got to keep his head in on that one.
2-1, 1 out here in the top of the sixth. Conway comes set. Here's the pitch. That one's outside, and it's 3-1.
Taking a look at Hager's last game, though, on June 18th against Watertown on that 6-5 win. 0 for 2. So Watertown's pitching staff did a good job shutting down the majority of the Amsterdam lineup for the time they could.
Yeah, Watertown led that game 4-2 last night. Eventually would go on to lose 6-5. That one just misses. It's the first walk of the day for the Mohawks here in the top of the sixth with 1 out.
Conway mad at himself visibly. You could see he's just telling his defense, get this double play for me. Like, I need it right now. This is what he wants. Top of the order and a fast guy up at bat.
Yeah, Javar Williams, the left fielder, future teammate of Ethan Conrad down at Wake Forest. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Looking to change that right here with Hager over at first. First pitch is fouled back for strike one. We haven't seen anybody test the arm of Nate Manley here yet tonight.
No one testing the arm of Nate Manley, possibly watching old clips. Manley absolutely gunned someone out at second base yesterday.
There goes Hager. The throw down to second is not in time. Manley got it down there, but just couldn't locate it.
Kind of left his body high on that one. When you leave your body high, your arm angle goes higher, and your throw is going to be high. You got to stay low and compact. But a good throw by Manley there. Nothing else to say.
So runner in scoring position now here for the Mohawks in the top of the sixth. Javar Williams on the season has 6 RBIs. Here's the 1-1. Hager goes to third. Throw to third, and wow, what a great defensive play there by Byram Hott to not let that one get by him.
Saving a run. Manley still staying up on that one. It wasn't off speed. Harder to throw someone out at third. But right there, so close. And good job by Hott defending Manley there.
So back-to-back stolen bases for Evan Hager. And now a sac fly will plate the first run of this game here for the Mohawks.
Gonna try and prevent that, though.
2-1's upstairs. It comes off of his bat, so that'll be a strike. Or they're going to call catcher interference, I want to say. Hit by pitch. Hit by pitch. So runners now at first and third, and Rich Doobie is going to come out and calm down Conway.
Perfect timing for Doobie to come out of the dugout, saw something's off, and as soon as Coach Doobie sees something's off, he's going to fix it immediately, and you're going to see results.
So now, AJ, you look up and down the lineup. It's going to be Michael O'Brien, the center fielder. He's been quiet tonight, 0 for 2 in this game, has 9 RBIs and is batting .333. Those RBIs, by the way, is tied for most on the team.
There's a reason he's batting second, and the Amsterdam Mohawks coaching staff does not play. Giving you an example right now, Dan, Pete Daniels at short, made an error, 1 run scores. He gets taken out of the game. Serious stuff in the Mohawks clubhouse.
So Trainer comes out onto the mound. It seems like Conway is in some discomfort. Might see a Dallas Hot Wieners call to the bullpen here. Unsure what the situation is. Umpires talking it over with Conway. And it seems like, yes, that the Stallions here are going to make a Dallas Hot Wieners call to the bullpen. So Conway comes out of this game with something wrong. We'll be right back. Runners at first and third here with 1 out in the top of the sixth for the Mohawks. Dan Schaum with you alongside AJ DiBenedetto here in the top of the 6th. AJ, Elias Conway exiting with some discomfort. Didn't seem ready to come out. And the trainer going out there as well. So best wishes to him. New arm on the mound for the Stallions is Liam Powell.
Liam Powell, his 4th game appearance. A win, no losses yet, and 2 saves. A man that comes in clutch hour. 6 innings pitched, 4 strikeouts, 3 walks, and only allowing 3 hits. But the thing, Dan, there's always a sticky situation going on, and Powell seems to get out of it every single time.
Yeah, in each of his 2 saves, AJ, there's been runners, at least 2 on base with 1 out in the 9th, and he's gotten out of it each time. We'll look to do the same here against Michael O'Brien. First pitch is outside for ball 1. So Conway deals back-to-back walks. It sets the Mohawks up here with 1st and 3rd, and the walks are seeming to come around and haunt the Stallions here once again against Amsterdam.
Just hoping history does not repeat itself.
That one's popped up on the infield and a chance for a double play. Dashing back over to first is Williams. That could have been bad there for the Mohawks.
Powell just doing Powell things. No more opportunity for a sack. RBI fly. And now there's 2 outs with a good hitter up. So Powell's got to keep that in mind.
So now with 2 outs, it'll be Jackson Natilli, the extra hitter. Natilli in this game is 0 for 3. Runners at 1st and 3rd here with 2 outs in the top of the 6th. If either of them scores, it will go against Elias Conway's line. That one's in there for strike 1, and we talk about Conway's release angle, it being higher, and then it seems like Powell's got somewhat of a sidearm.
Powell also standing at about 6'3", 6'4", a tall guy, and long arms. He uses the long arms to his advantage. Watching him right there.
A nice block right there by Manley doesn't allow the runners to advance. Stony Brook head coach in attendance tonight to look at Liam Powell.
Liam Powell here with the scout here, just looking to do a job. He's going to impress by just pitching. That's what he does.
Another guy who's in the Pack-Up National Transfer Portal team. Looking for another effective inning. That one misses on the inside.
Liam Powell always finding a way to get out of this. Like we said, the last 2 times he's come in, runner in 1st and 3rd, 1 out. He gets the 2nd out and gets the 3rd out, and everyone gets to wipe the sweat off their face.
2-1 count, 2 outs, runners at 1st and 3rd. Here's the pitch, and he gets Natilli swinging for a big strike 2.
Powell sees the situation, 2-2, multiple pitches. He's a 5-pitch arsenal, and that includes a 74-mile-per-hour knuckleball, which he's not afraid to use, and he's mentioned that multiple times.
2-2 count, 2 outs, 2 runners on base. Here's the pitch. That one misses, and the count will go full.
Using a changeup on that 2-2 count, interesting call by Manley, and an interesting agreed call there by Powell.
So now the runner at first, which is Williams, will be released. Full count, 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Payoff pitch. They'll say that he does not go. So the bases will be loaded here with 2 outs in the top of the 6th.
The 6th full count we saw today there by Liam Powell. Just a little bit high, right on the letters right there. Could have been called a strike too. You had a tall batter right there. Home umpire said no, and now we got bases loaded.
So now it'll be Cade Ladahoff at the dish. AJ Ladahoff had a grand slam against Albany at Shuttleworth Park to tie up the game 5-5. I'm looking to tie it up once again with 1 swing right here in the top of the 6th.
Back at the Maskey Field yesterday, 2 times we saw bases loaded. 2 times we got out of it. Let's hope this makes the 3rd time.
Stallions leading by 4. Mohawks threatening. Bases are loaded with 2 outs. Coming into this game, Ladahoff, the hottest hitter in the Mohawks lineup, batting .388 and has played every game this season. First pitch from Powell is hit out to center field. Shading under it is Cuello. It will be Ford to take it, and the Stallions get out of the jam. No runs led up here in the top of the 6th. Stallions keep a 4-0 lead as we head to the bottom half. Yep.
Go.
Dan Shalom with you alongside AJ DiBenedetto, getting ready for the bottom of the 6th. AJ, Stallions getting out of a hairy jam there in the top of the 6th.
The third time in the past 2 days the Stallions got out of a jam, bases loaded, in a tight game. Stallions doing exactly what they needed to do, and a first pitch swing right there in left field to Justin Ford to get the third out.
So there'll be a new pitcher on the mound here for Amsterdam. They make a Dallas Hot Wieners call to the bullpen. It's number 23, Zach Hernandez.
Zach Hernandez, the Tennessee local, 6'2", rising freshman out of Belmont, 190 pounds. And this is his 5th appearance in the PGCBL, supporting a 6.23 ERA, 4 1/3 innings pitched, 4 strikeouts, 9 walks, and only giving up 1 hit. We talk about Augusto, maybe a contact pitcher. Zach Hernandez is not a contact pitcher.
So Augusto leaves the game with the final line of 3 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. Matt McIntyre will be the first batter that Zach Hernandez faces. And AJ, first batter that Augusto faced was a home run by Ethan Conrad. When he came in relief, that was in the bottom of the 3rd.
Augusto with a rough wake-up call for the first batter of the night, and I think it kind of affected the rest of his night. Had some troubles bouncing back from that 1-pitch mistake, and for most pitchers, that is an issue.
Zach Hernandez sporting a sub-7 ERA coming into this game. Another guy that the Stallions are going to look to pounce on. Have 4 runs on 4 hits so far in this game. First pitch to McIntyre is fouled back for strike 1.
McIntyre, been playing in college for 2 years now, has college experience. He's a batter that's going to give you leadership experience at the plate and in the dugout.
He's also going to give you a 300-plus batting average. Did that both seasons at New Haven and is doing it right now with the Stallions. Hernandez gets up 0-2 here on McIntyre. Bottom of the 6th, Stallions leading by 4. Here's the pitch. Off-speed misses upstairs.
And Dan, I want to take it back to his high school days. I know that sounds like a long time ago for him, but his senior year, he batted a .456. Nothing below a .325 in 3 years of high school ball and collegiate ball.
Takes that one for ball 2. It's a 2-2 count here in the bottom of the 6th. Stallions up by 4, getting out of a bases-loaded jam last inning, and now trying to tack on a couple more here in the 6th. That one's fouled back by McIntyre.
Giving trouble to Zach Hernandez right away. First batter, and McIntyre will not go down without a fight.
Two is outside. It'll be a full count. Swings through that one for strike 3. Second strikeout of the night for Matt McIntyre. It'll bring up Justin Ford.
First batter, first strikeout for Zach Hernandez. A good start for the batter, for the hitter.
So Justin Ford now up to bat. He's 0 for 2 tonight, most recently being a flyout to right field in the bottom of the 4th. One-0 count. Here's the pitch. That one's in there for a strike.
Zach Hernandez doing a way better job than Augusto. And Kidd getting ahead of the batter. Stallions having the advantage all night through 6, staying ahead of the pitcher.
The 1-1 misses upstairs. The Stallions on the cusp of beating Amsterdam for just the 3rd time ever here at Cantine Field, and it would be the first time, AJ, in a stretch of 3 games where they beat the Mohawks twice.
And Dan, looking at their last year stats against Amsterdam, 1-5-1. If they get the second win here in 16 games, they would have a better record overall against Amsterdam than a 40 full game season.
The 2-2 misses upstairs, and it's a full count to Justin Ford here with 1 out.
7th full count of the day, and halfway through to that 14, which we saw yesterday on Monday. Oh, I'm sorry, Tuesday, and then the day before on Monday.
The payoff is in there for strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts to start off this outing for Hernandez, and there's 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. And AJ, it's a totally new infield here for the Mohawks. Going from left to right, it's Sparks over at third, DiGiorno at short, Aiden Stewart over at second, and Wilson is at first.
Completely changing it up, Dan. It really started with Wilson at third, Daniels at short, Ristoli at second, and Ladhoff at first. A complete 4-for-4 change there.
Here's the 1-0 to Resio. That one misses down low. The 2-0 pitch. Resio swings through that one, and it's in there for strike 1. The 2-1 misses. And AJ, there's also a new catcher behind the dish. It's Steven Spalita. So a plethora of changes. The entire infield switched for the Mohawks.
Obviously not liking going down 4 in just 6 innings of play. The Mississippi State catcher behind the plate. He's going to be a rising Mississippi State guy, Dan. Just finished out his senior year of high school, but so far, over 15 at-bats, 267 with 5 RBIs. A consistent batter, but a different idea.
And you really never see this in summer ball, where the entire infield is changed. Just speaks to the magnitude of this matchup between the Stallions.
It's a rival that's been going on since 2021, the beginning
Payoff
of the
pitch, they'll say that Resio goes around. So it's a strikeout of the side here for Aaron Hernandez. The Stallions go down 1-2-3. We head to the 7th. Stallions leading by 4. Dan Shalom with you alongside AJ DiBenedetto here in the Pack Up broadcast booth. AJ, we're down to the final 9 outs of this game here for the Mohawks, and Liam Powell looked to keep things at 0 here in the top of the 7th.
I would just like to repeat 0 6 times, but obviously I can't. That's what we saw so far by the Stallions pitching staff through 6, and they look forward to that for the next 3.
So it's only been 3 hits for the Mohawks so far in 6 innings of play. It'll be Ben Huckins, the pinch hitter here for Cade Ladhoff, the first baseman. So that means Wilson will come out of the game at first in the bottom half of this 7th. First pitch to Huckins is a ball. AJ, why don't you tell us about Ben Huckins?
Ben Huckins, known more for his pitching. He's appeared in 5 games through 9 1/3 innings with 9 strikeouts. But then going to his batting side, 16 at-bats and batting on 188. Over here, Dan, I'm super confused on what's going on. You're taking out the 300 average batters in a rival game and putting the sub 200s.
Yeah, Zach Eldred is a 367 hitter, and he's now out of this game. It's a very questionable decision over there by Keith Griffin.
Keith Griffin obviously thinking something different than us. It might be out of anger that the team isn't constructing runs or errors. But overall, it's been a very clean game here on a Wednesday night at Canton.
Powell misses upstairs, and the count's now 3-1.
The Stallions pitching staff has to notice these changes and notice what's kind of going on and take advantage of it. There's no reason to walk the pinch hitter.
That one's hit to the left side. Hotfields it, throws across the diamond for out number 1.
Just such a smooth play by Hot. He just takes it step by step, Dan, and there's a reason he's going to play the infield at an ACC school just like Louisville.
So now it will be Aiden Stewart coming to the dish. Stewart coming into this game it is Stewart. He came into this game for Pete Daniel, originally played over there at second coming into this game, as everything's been shifted around here for the Mohawks. That one's hit over to second, a nice jumping play there by Fritz Genther for out number 2.
Fritz Genther just being athletic as always, doing a job, but Liam Powell really doing the best job here. He has St. John's in attendance today. Looking forward to do a good job. He's doing it so far. 2 innings, 5 batters faced. He got bases loaded and got out of it with no issue.
So it's Drake DiGiorno into the game. DiGiorno comes into this game for Rispoli, who started the game at second, then moved to short. Now DiGiorno is going to take over at shortstop.
DiGiorno doing a good job this season, batting a 200 over 25 at bats, but he is a rising junior at the College of Utah. So looking forward to make a difference here.
Yeah, out there with the Utes. AJ, we've seen 3 straight pinch hitters now in this top of the 7th for the Mohawks. Very questionable coaching decisions over there. But Keith Griffin having trust in his moves right here.
As a coach, you have to have trust from the first guy in your lineup to the last guy and everyone besides that as well. We see in the bullpen an arm warming up, more look like they're going. There has to be something going on here that's being schemed.
Powell blows the cheese right by him there for strike 1. 2-1, 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Stallions have blanked the Mohawks for 6 straight innings. That one's hit out to left field. Going back on it is Ford. He's on the track, and he's got it for out number 3. So Powell pitches a clean 1-2-3 7th. We'll keep it right here for the 7th inning stretch. Stallions lead it by 4. Dan Challen with you alongside AJ DiBenedetto here in the Pack Hub broadcast booth. Another questionable coaching decision as the Mohawks make a Dallas Hot Wieners call to the bullpen. Zach Hernandez, who pitched the bottom of the sixth and had 3 strikeouts, is out of the game. New pitcher here for the Mohawks is James Reddick, a guy who sports a 9 ERA.
An interesting change by the Mohawks. A guy threw 3 batters faced, 3 strikeouts, no issues. But now you bring in a new pitcher, the 6'2" rising freshman from Clifton Park, New York, going to Fordham next season. This season, 1 game appearance then. A 9 ERA, Dan, 1 inning
He gave up
pitched.
the singular run against Oneonta in that 8-1 win for Amsterdam on June 15th. Going to be interesting here to see how Anthony Marcano fares against them. Marcano in this game, he's 0 for 1. Reached on an E6 that plated the first run of the game for the Stallions, that being in the bottom of the second. And already there's miscommunication with Spalita and Reddick as they're going to want to talk things over.
Dan, when you switch between so many infielders and switch between a pitcher and then a different catcher, might not be someone that he's used to generally. Got to get the arsenal down. Maybe he has different pitches that the catcher doesn't think that he has. So it's a big communication time before the first pitch is even thrown.
A 4-0 ball game here in the bottom of the 7th. Stallions putting on the runs in the bottom of the 2nd with 2, in the bottom of the 3rd with 1, and then in the bottom of the 5th with that 4th run. Marcano swings through strike 1.
Like you said, Dan, reached on an error in the 2nd inning. Daniels overthrew it, causing a run to score. Coach wasn't very happy with that.
Immediately took Daniel out of the game. He was replaced by Rispoli, who started the game at 2nd, but now Drake DiGiorno over there at short.
And Dan, Daniels, there's only 3 hits on the day. Daniel responsible for 2 of them.
A very questionable decision, and a questionable decision on the mound after Zach Hernandez struck out the side in the bottom of the 6th. 0-2 to Marcano is inside. It's 1-2.
The only thing I could think of, Dan, when seeing these changes is they play the same team tomorrow at home. Maybe wait at home. They see things aren't completely going their way.
Regroup and get back at it tomorrow. That one's fouled off, and we'll do it again at 1-2. It'll be the Stallions' first trip up to Shuttleworth Park of the season. We'll have that one for you right here on the Stallions YouTube channel. About a 6:45 p.m. start. Pre-game at 6:35. That'll be a good one up there in Amsterdam. Here's the 1-2. That one is in there for strike 3. So 5 straight strikeouts by Stallions batters, and there's 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th.
Stallions changing their appearance at the plate, Dan. The first few innings, we saw runs go on the board because of a first pitch swing. Now they're waiting.
It'll bring the 10-hole hitter Rich Rodriguez to the plate. Rodriguez, the shortstop tonight, is 0 for 1 with a walk. That one misses for ball 1.
And Dan, and how important this game is. The winner here, first place in the East Division.
Here's the 1-0. Rodriguez hits that one right back to Reddick. He now fields, throws to first for out number 2.
Mohawks pitching staff really finding the groove, like you said, retiring 5 batters, striking out 4 in a row. Really just getting a job done up there. Can't ask for nothing more.
It'll be the top of the order for the Stallions, Mike Cuello. Cuello in this game is 1 for 2 with a sac fly.
Cuello, like we said, struggling coming into this game a little bit. Had a hot day on Saturday against Glens Falls. And now 1 for 2 with the sac fly. So doing exactly what he's told.
That one's upstairs. AJ, the winner of this game, will be at in first, like we said. But then after that, after tomorrow night's game in Shuttleworth Park, these teams won't meet again for 5 days. 4 different opponents for both squads in that time. So it's crucial to have a lead heading into a stretch where you won't see each other for a few days.
If the Stallions want to take first place and not worry about it, it's now.
That one's fouled off by Cuello. The count's 2-1 here in the bottom of the 7th. Here's the 2-1. Cuello swings through that one, and it's 2-2.
Cuello told us in his Player of the Game interview on Saturday, he's been nothing further than South Carolina. Seeing the mountains going over Saugerties has been an absolute beautiful look for him every day at Cantine.
2-2, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th. Here's the pitch. That one's upstairs, and it's full.
8th full count of the day in the 7th inning, 14 yesterday.
Full count, 2 outs. Here's the payoff pitch. Cuello swings through it, so now that's 6 straight strikeouts. 6 strikeouts in 2 innings dealt by the Mohawks staff. We head to the 8th. Stallions leading by 4, searching for the final 6 outs of this game. Dan Shalom with you alongside AJ DiBenedetto here in the Pac Cup broadcast booth. Liam Powell does a beautiful job on the mound. 2 2/3 innings, a hit, no runs, no walks, and a K, impressing in front of St. John's here tonight.
He did exactly what he needed to do. The St. John's scout here, and he put on an absolute show. Can't think that he's not going to be looked at more than just today.
And now Jake Mihalik on the mound. He's looking for a bounce-back outing here tonight against the Mohawks.
Had a struggling outing against Albany in that tie 12-12, but third game he's appearing in, supporting a 4.15 ERA and 4 1/3 inning pitched. 5 strikeouts, 3 walks, and only allowing 3 hits.
He also has faced Amsterdam this season, that being on the walk-off winning night here at Cantine. 3 innings pitched, a singular earned run, 1 hit, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. AJ, Jake Mihalik, the Ohio State product.
2024, we've seen him throw 10 2/3 innings pitched in 10 appearances. Has Big Ten experience. Likes to face good batters. That's the name of the game in the Big Ten. Supported a 10.97 though, with 7 hits, 13 earned runs, gave up 19 walks, and struck out 4.
Yeah, the thing about those numbers, it's an extremely small sample size, so can't judge anything off of that. First batter he faces will be a pinch hitter here for the Amsterdam Mohawks. I feel like I've said that a million times tonight. It's going to be Manny Santos.
Manny Santos just graduated high school a few weeks ago, looking to go to URI for his freshman year of ball.
Local guy as well. He's from Amsterdam, spending his first season in the PGCBL. First pitch from Mihalik is grounded foul. This guy also pitches as well as hitting.
Also pitching, we saw him 4 times this year, supporting a 3 ERA, 6 innings pitched, 5 strikeouts, 4 walks. His last appearance 2 days ago against Utica in an 8-3 win. He pitched an inning, gave up 2 earned runs, and walked 2.
That one misses on the outside by Mihalik. He's also pitched against Saugerties That being in the 10-0 Amsterdam win, pitched 2 clean innings with just a singular hit given up. Here's the 1-1 from Mihalik. That one misses down low. 4-0 Stallion lead here in the top of the 8th, trying to close this one out against the Mohawks.
Dan, last time at Can Time, we saw him in left field. He's also a batter, putting up a 364 over 11 at-bats, 4 hits, and got himself a double with an RBI.
Here's the 2-1. That one's fouled off to the right side, and now theoretically it would be Santos to come in at third to take the position of Jake Sparks, as he came in for Liam Wilson, who originally started at third, but Santos doesn't play third, so there'll be another defensive substitution here for the Mohawks in the bottom half.
Keith Griffin being the mastermind on the bench right now, just figuring out where can I put someone and what can they do.
That one's missed outside. It's a full count. He's had some trouble locating to start off.
Has had some trouble locating, but what a great opportunity for Manny Santos to play in the PGCBL, not even a freshman in college yet, and he's going to see college arms before he gets there. This is experience that any hitter would want.
Here's the payoff pitch. That one's fouled off. The umpire went off his mask. The count will stay full.
Good gesture there by Nate Manley. When an umpire is hitting the head with the ball, you walk it up to your pitcher, give him about 5 seconds to reset, and let him get right back to what he's going to do.
So full count here to Manny Santos. Mohawks looking for anything here in the top of the 8th. They only have 3 hits in this game through 7 innings. Here's the payoff pitch. Misses on the outside. It's a leadoff walk here for Manny Santos in the top of the 8th.
First batter for Mihalik, a walk. Not the biggest deal. He's seen plenty of batters in his time as a pitcher where one walk is not going to affect his mental game.
And he's got a little bit of a cushion, too, with the 4-0 lead. Now it will be Spalita up to bat. Steven Spalita came into this game as a defensive substitution for Zepic. First pitch to him is hit over to second. Charging at it is Rodriguez, goes to first, and he's got him for out number 1.
Steven Spalita, a speedy catcher going into his freshman year at Mississippi State. Rodriguez almost didn't get that in time, but a great play by Rodriguez.
Yeah, a good read as well
out.
to not even think about second and just go over to first.
Like we said, Dan, cushion up 4-0 now with an out instead of man on first and second with no outs. So definitely a positive thing on that play.
It'll bring up Evan Hager, the right fielder. Hager in this game has been at third base twice with a triple and a walk, stole 2 bases, got over there, but nobody's been able to bring him home. The first pitch to him misses for ball 1.
And Dan, like we said, Amsterdam coming into this game on an 8-game win streak. Their next 3 games, tomorrow at Shuttleworth Park against Amsterdam. Then
Saugerties.
You
said Amsterdam.
Just
Just thinking too much about the Mohawks, right?
And then going to Glen Falls on the 21st and back to Shuttleworth on the 22nd against Utica.
Here's the 1-0, 1 out. Manny Santos is at second. The pitch is in there for a strike. And AJ, Utica is a team that plays Amsterdam very tough. And Glens Falls, while they might be last in the league, they hung around with the Stallions. They only got it done 4-2 up there at East Field on Sunday night.
The beautiful thing about baseball is any game is unpredicted. You can have a bad pitching day. You can have a bad hitting day. The players matter, but also stats do too.
As we look at the standings, Amsterdam up top at 12-2. Stallions tied with them at 12-2-1. Utica 7-6-1. They stand at third. Then it's Oneonta at 8-7. Mohawk Valley 6-7. Albany 5-1. Boonville 5-9. Watertown 5-11, losing 3 straight. And then in last is Glens Falls at 3-10-1. 1-1 count. Here's the pitch. That one's fouled off to the left side, and it's 1-2.
Exactly like we said, Dan Mihalik walked the first batter, then got an out, and now he's in a 1-2 count. A Big Ten pitcher knows right away one walk cannot determine your next few batters.
1-2 count here to Hager. Manny Santos is at second with one out in the top of the 8th. Here's the pitch. That one's grounded back to Mihalik, just out of reach. Genther throws to first, and they got him here for out number 2.
Very close play there, closer than I think Prince Genther and Ryan Riccio expected. Only about half a step behind, and it was a short grounder to second there.
So we see another pinch hitter here for the Mohawks. Javar Williams will come out of this game. It'll be Sebastian Harden.
Before I give you a stats, Dan, I'm confused on why you would take out your number 1 batter going to Wake Forest, but besides the fact, a rising sophomore at Coastal Alabama North, and he has appeared in 11 games this season, so a popular bat in the Mohawks lineup.
Only batting 200, though, through those 11, and it seems like Keith Griffin is just trying everything and anything at this point in the game.
He's trying to get a spark to go off, but is having trouble only putting up 3 runs. And Dan, we've seen 6 substitutions so far.
6 batting substitutions, way more on the defensive side as well. 1-0 count, 2 outs here in the top of the 8th. Gets Harden swinging there for strike 1. 1-1 count. There's 2 outs here in the top of the 8th. Here's the 1-1. That one misses outside. Gets past Manley. Bounces off the backstop. And he's got him at home. What a play by Nate Manley to get the 3rd out of this inning.
Manley, first one that got by him today, right? But made it right up by saving a run, staying up 4, and Manley sticking to perfection on this game against the Mohawks.
So the Mohawks strand a runner on base. Now the Stallions have kept 8 scoreless innings. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Saugerties up 4. Dan Chow with you alongside AJ DiBenedetto here in the bottom of the 8th. AJ, the Stallions 3 outs away here from taking down the Mohawks.
Like you said, Dan, I don't think that the Stallions have ever shut out the Mohawks in PGCBL. This could be a first.
They still got 3 outs to go. It'll be Mason Veronzi, a new arm here for the Mohawks. And A.J. Veronzi had that disaster outing here at Cantine Field. He led up the game-winning hit to Ryan Resio on June 2nd.
So no wins so far this season and 1 loss, like you said, Dan, coming at Cantine, supporting an 8.10 ERA in just 4 games. 3 1/3 innings pitched, 3 strikeouts, and giving up 5 hits.
It'll be Fritz Genther to lead things off here in the top, or in the bottom half of the 8th, excuse me. Mason Veronzi looking to keep a clean bottom of the 8th, down by 4. First pitch by him is a ball upstairs.
Mason Veronzi has to be smart here. They're down 4, but there's a lot more opportunity to go down more.
And there's still a chance the Mohawks can come back in this game, of course. It's only 4 runs. And we saw the Stallions put up a 4-run ninth to tie up Albany in that 12-12 tie last Friday. Here's the 1-1 by Veronese. That one misses on the inside. It's 2-1.
Genther so far just trying to get himself on base, Dan. Like you said, he walked in the first, walked in the fifth, just having a disciplined eye today.
Here's the 2-1. Genther's going to be called for a strike. That one seemed like a high strike.
High strike not being called for a strike today either, Dan. The high pitch has been called a ball for innings 1 through 8 so far.
Here's the 2-2. Genther hits that one over to third. Sparks has it, throws across the diamond, and it's a wild throw.
Dan, that's the second error today by a shortstop and or third baseman. We saw what happened last time an error happened. A player got taken out.
Second error of the game here for the Mohawks. Stallions will have Ethan Conrad here up to bat. Conrad in this game, AJ, is 2 for 2 with the walk. Most importantly on his line, the home run coming in the bottom of the third.
He just feels comfortable at the bat, now leading the PGCBL in homers at 4.
Rocks that one to right center field. It will get down for a base hit. Genther will advance to third, and the Stallions looking to add some insurance. That one gets away. Genther is going to chug home. There is going to be a play at the plate. Genther is safe. It's 5-0 Stallions.
Dan, like I said, the score can go more than 4-0. It's 5-0. Genther might be one of the speediest legs in the PGCBL. He went from first to third. A little bit of a mishap on a throw. Goes right home.
Another error out there in center field. That one coming from O'Brien on the overthrow. Conrad advances to second on the play, and the Stallion lead is 5-0. It's Byram Hott at the plate now. Hott reached on a fielder's choice, which would score a run in the bottom of the fifth.
Hott having some trouble, though, Dan. Like you said, 0 for 12 in his last 12, looking to just bounce right back.
1-1 count, nobody out. Stallions now up by 5. Here's the pitch. Hott swings through it for strike 2.
Hott just kind of lunging there, Dan. I think he wants to hit so bad. He's just trying to get the bat on the ball and hoping something falls.
Veronese comes set. Here's the 1-2. Hott takes that one for ball 2.
Hott swung at the last slider on that 1-1 pitch. Now stopped on to make it 2-2. A smart batter at the plate.
That one's upstairs, and the count will go full.
Ninth full count for the Stallions and Mohawks combined today, and we're in the 8th. 5 less than we saw at Eastfield and Damaski.
The payoff is looped out to center field. O'Brien is under it. He's got it. Conrad fake tagging. Won't go. And now there's one out here in the bottom of the 8th.
Dan, even after a simple fly out in center field, the cutoffs don't look clean. The Mohawks having a day to forget today, I think.
It'll bring up Nate Manley. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Conrad is over at second here with one out in the bottom of the 8th.
Manley coming into this game batting a .471, 0 for 3. An unusual day for Manley at the plate, but he's really backing it up on the defensive side.
made that great defensive play in the top of the 8th to prevent the Mohawks from getting their first run of the game. Check over on Conrad.
And Dan, you see a 5-0 score, only off 5 hits compared to the Mohawks' 3 hits. So definitely a day of errors, walks, and just mental decisions that they're going to forget about after this game.
Pitch is in there for a strike. Conrad leads off of second in an 0-1 count. Here's the pitch to Manley. That one's down low, and it will be 2-0. Matt McIntyre waiting on deck. He's 0 for 2 today with a walk. Manley searching for his first hit of the day. Here's the 1-1. That one's upstairs for ball 2. Two-one count, 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th. Stallions leading this one by 5. Manley fouls that one off to the right side, and the count's 2-2. Two count, 1 out, bottom of the 8th. Stallions looking to close this one out here against the Mohawks. Pitch misses, and the count's now 3-2.
Manley fighting right back into this at-bat, like we said, Dan, 0 for 3. He's looking for his first hit. He likes to get on base constantly.
Had a .471 average coming into this game. Here's the payoff. Strikes out for the second out of this inning.
Manley backing up a rough batting day, like we said, behind the plate. 1 pass ball, and it resulted in an out. You can't ask for much more.
It'll bring up Matt McIntyre, the DH in this one. McIntyre is 0 for 2 on the day. Has a walk. Came in batting .310. Looking for a base knock right here in a low-stakes, low-pressure situation. Does just that. That one's lined down the left field line. It is fair. Conrad is going to come around to score. It's a stand-up double with 2 outs for Matt McIntyre, and the Stallions lead this one 6-0.
Dan, we talked about McIntyre having some troubles at the bat, and when I mean some troubles, he's still batting a .310 coming into this game, but just added numbers to his resume.
Well, we talk about first pitch swinging. That was first pitch swinging right there.
He saw it, he liked it, and absolutely scorched it down the third baseline.
It'll bring Justin Ford up. He's 0 for 3 today. Ford came in batting .353 on the day. Stallions leading 6-0 on the cusp of beating Amsterdam for the second time this season as this ball's rocked to deep left field. That one is off the top of the wall. It will be out. That went off the top of the Stable Club. A 2-run homer here for Justin Ford. It's his first of the season, and the Stallions lead it 8-0.
Justin Ford just, wow. Almost hit the people on the stable deck. If you take a look over there, Dan, it's looking like that was almost a .390 shot. That was far, that was long, and it was gone.
So 2 home runs tonight by the Stallions. They now push their total on the season up to 12. That leads the entire PGCBL. And AJ, basically a complete reversal of the 10-0 loss to Amsterdam last time. It's 8-0 Stallions.
Dan, we came into this inning 4-0, and I said to you, he has to be careful because this game can get out of hand fast. A lot of changes on the defensive side and the pitching side. They just doubled their runs in 1 inning.
And now it'll be Ryan Rescio up to bat, and he had the game-winning run against Mason Veronzi in that bottom of the 9th on June 2nd, a familiar face.
Now there's no pressure, though. The situation has changed. Ryan Rescio just looking to get a hit, a single, a double, just get on base.
Here's the 2-1. Rescio fouls it back. And AJ, now you look at the matchup history. If the Stallions get the final 3 outs of this game. It'll be the first time that they beat the Mohawks in a 3-game stretch. It's the first time they'll take 2 out of 3. Pretty historic night here at Cantine Field if they can get the final 3.
You'll definitely hear it from the crowd as well. They know these stats coming into this game. They know the rivalry, and they know the struggle the past few years. The Stallions reversing that struggle.
It would also beat their total wins against Amsterdam. They had 1 last season. This win would destroy it with 2. And then another chance to keep it rolling tomorrow night against the Mohawks at Shuttleworth Park.
Momentum is huge in baseball. This win would mean momentum.
That one's fouled back. It would also snap the 8-game winning streak for Amsterdam and have the Stallions at 5 in a row. Stallions would also take first place in the PGCBL. So 3 crucial outs on the line in the top of the 9th.
With the Stallions pitching staff and the way they're pitching, up 8, you just got to get outs.
Resio walks. It'll bring up Anthony Marcano. And AJ, also, if the Mohawks put up a 0 in that top half of the 9th, it'll be the first time ever that the Stallions have shut out the Mohawks.
With such a talented team from game 1 of the season, we saw a mercy happen right away. Come to this game and just see dominance game through and game out. Like, it's just amazing to watch such a performing team at every single game.
It'll bring Anthony Marcano up. Marcano's 0 for 3 tonight, reached on an E6 that did bring the first run of this game home.
Marcano just looking to add to the team fun on getting on bases.
After both these teams gaining 6-5 victories last night, Stallions on the cusp of an 8-0 victory here tonight. At this point last season, Amsterdam was 13-1 coming into their 15th game of the season. AJ, something to be wary of. After their 1 loss, they went on a 17-game win streak. So this team is extremely streaky, but the Stallions throwing a dent into this season. That one's lined to the left side by Marcano. It is foul. But if the Stallions go on to win this game, the Mohawks would sit at 12-3. It would be their worst start to a season since 2021, the StatCast era.
That's a crazy stat, Dan. Just 3 losses and it being your worst start in just the first 15 games of the season. It's a dominating program. They've always have been. We've seen it in the 2022 champs, the 2023 champs. It's just there.
Marcano goes around to end the inning. Stallions put up 4 runs of insurance. They lead it 8-0 and search for the final 3 outs in the top of the 9th. Sure, what's the score? Sure. With you, alongside AJ DiBenedetto here in the Pack Up broadcast booth. Stallions are 3 outs away, AJ, from closing this one down.
We've seen pure domination, innings 1 through 9. Nothing really more to say except just no errors through going into 9. And the Stallions just proving that they're a champion-winning team.
Jake Mihalik will stay on the mound here to close out the 9th inning. A lot on the line here, AJ, for the history. Even with an 8-0 game, it would be the first shutout of the Mohawks in franchise history, and it'd be the first time the Stallions beat the Mohawks twice in a 3-game stretch.
Some unusual stats for Stallions fans to hear, but it's true. The Stallions are growing. They're here now, and they're not going away.
Harden's at bat. He was at bat in the top of the 8th before Nate Manley made a great defensive play to nab, at the time, Jake Sparks at home plate.
They'll have another chance, though, tomorrow night at Shuttleworth. First time the Mohawks will host the Stallions. They've come here 3 times.
That one misses for ball 2.
For Mahalik now, it's just throw strikes, let your defense make the plays. You're up 8 runs. Almost every starter has got taken out for the Mohawks. It's been a complete chaos of a game on the Mohawk side.
Misses outside. It's 3-0. And AJ, it's also been a strange day at bat for the Mohawks. Only 3 hits in this game. Extremely uncharacteristic out of them. Here's the 3-0. That one misses, and it's a 4-pitch walk from Jake Mahalik here in the top of the 9th.
Up 8 in the bottom of the 9th. Might as well lob it in. It's a strike. Get the strikes here. Get the strikeouts. You don't even need strikeouts. 1 to short, and you're 2 outs down, 1 to go.
So one of the few batters that stays in for the entire game for the Mohawks, Michael O'Brien, now at the dish. O'Brien 0 for 3 tonight. First pitch just misses upstairs for ball 1. Misses upstairs. 6 straight balls for Mahalik here in the top of the 9th.
Mahalik really got to settle in now. That's 6 straight, Dan, like you said, and you're up 8. Over the plate. Make it simple for yourself.
Really 1 or 2, but to go into this box feeling a little bit better about themselves, but they won't feel good about
That one's fouled back in our direction. The count is 2-1. Michael O'Brien flying out to shortstop, popped it up in his last plate appearance. Here's the 2-1. Just missing on the upper half. It's 3-1. Mahalik at risk of walking back-to-back batters to start this top of the 9th. The 3-1 misses off the outside for ball 4. Back-to-back walks for Jake Mahalik to start this top of the 9th. Then Rich Doobie is right out of the dugout.
Definitely time for Coach Rich Doobie to come out. Obviously see something wrong. As soon as he's done talking to him, I'd expect strikes to come right after.
Another pinch hitter here for the Mohawks. Jackson Natili out of this game. It'll be Jimmy Dion coming to bat. Coach Keith Griffin using nearly every single bench player in this game.
Jimmy Dion, a consistent hitter at the plate, though, batting a .474 through 19 at-bats, a double, 3 RBIs, and got on base 6 times by a walk.
So pitching coach Rich Doobie talks it over with Jake Mahalik. So Jimmy Dion now up to bat. Runners at first and second. Nobody out in the top of the 9th. No worry just yet here for the Stallions as they're up 8-0. First pitch is inside for ball 1. Mahalik having real trouble locating.
Mahalik, like you said, Dan, having trouble locate, but a pitcher that can just get right back into the groove. He knows that now's the time. It's just a consistent fastball call throughout.
That one's in there for a strike. Now, even if Mahalik gives up a run, it's no biggie, but the Stallions would like that coveted stat of shutting out the Mohawks for the first time ever.
Definitely a bragging rights idea here in Saugerties. You know, that the idea won't come away.
That one misses outside. And AJ, this matchup between the Stallions and the Mohawks has always usually been David versus Goliath, with the Stallions on the losing side. But this season seems like the tides are changing a little bit.
The tides are changing. New players coming in, new, ideas throughout both clubhouses, and it really just allows them to grow year after year and be a consistent rival.
So now a 3-1 count, a pitch away from the bases loaded here in the top of the ninth. There's no movement out there in that Stallions pen. They're going to leave him out to close out this game. Here's the 3-1. Gets him swinging. Dion was swinging for the fences right there.
Dion early was looking at his bench on the right side. Just got to keep your head in there. If you don't, you're not going to see the ball.
So now a full count here for Mahalik. Runners at first and second with nobody out in the top of the ninth. Here's the payoff pitch. That one's hit right over to Rodriguez. Steps on second, throws to first. It's a double play.
That's exactly what Mahalik needed. One pitch, 2 outs. There is a man on third, but up 8, nothing to worry about.
So it's a 6-3 double play. 2 outs, Mohawks down to their final out of this game. It'll bring up Jake Sparks.
Jake Sparks really having trouble at the plate. Batting a 182 over 33 at-bats, just really not finding the ball as well as the Mohawks would like.
First pitch from Mahalik, that one's upstairs. Stallions will look to keep it rolling tomorrow night at Shuttleworth Park. We'll be with you for that one. 6:35 pregame start. Make sure to like, subscribe, stay updated on our YouTube channel. We're excited to bring you the game tomorrow night up in Amsterdam. That one's in there for strike 1.
Mahalik finding his groove, as you could tell, just slinging it, throwing high-velocity four-seams fastballs there.
Regardless of if Hardens was to score over there at first, it's been a great night of pitching for the staff. Just 3 hits and 1 out away from a shutout.
Definitely something Coach Rich Doobie can look on and say, I did a great job. I really got them molded, and now they're showing their hard work ethic, and the success is following.
A 1-2 count, 2 outs. Mahalik looking to end this game with a strikeout. Here's the pitch. Strike 3, he got him. The Stallions shut out the Mohawks for the first time in their history and take control of first place in the PGCBL East 8-0.
The Mohawks thought the Stallions were going to bed after that 10-0 loss. Well, they were completely wrong. Now it's an 8-0 win, and they're 2-1 on the Mohawks during this 2024 PGCBL season.
A huge win for the Stallions here tonight. The staff keeps it clean. The Stallions earned their second win ever in a 3-game stretch against the Mohawks, and will look to carry it into tomorrow night at Shuttleworth Park, their first time visiting. AJ, it's a big test for this team.
Big test for this team, but so far this year has told us that nothing is impossible for the Saugerties Stallions, and they just showed that to us today. All smiles and can time.
Saugerties earns the win here at Cantine Field. They're 2-1 against the Mohawks this season. They went 1-5-1 against them last season, so already have more wins than last season. They'll look to keep it rolling tomorrow night against the Mohawks at Shuttleworth Park. We'll have that one for you here on the Stallions YouTube channel. For Dan Shalom and AJ DiBenedetto, we'll see you tomorrow night.